Dana Barros, man. How's the summer going?
It's going, man. I'm alive, baby. That's all I can ask for. I'm going.
That's
Gym
a
is
fact.
busy, so that's good.
Yo, man. Glad to hear the gym is busy. Glad you're doing well. And a lot going on with your former teams. The
Man,
Sixers, the Celtics. What's your thoughts?
I mean, Jalen's my guy. I don't like it. I mean, to me, it was when you stand back and look at it, it really doesn't make basketball sense. So you have to take it in terms of a monetary sense. They didn't want that 2-year extension on the books. To me, that's what it has to be. You know what I mean? Because there wouldn't be any other reason to break up that duo.
So why have a team if you're not doing your best with the money you have to win a championship, right? Like, that's the point of having a team, especially with a guy that's been there so long, won finals MVP, won a championship. It really doesn't make sense to have a basketball team if you're not trying to have the best basketball team possible.
I think a lot too has to do with like the luxury tax. They've been over the cap and into the extra cap, into the extra tax. I think 2 or 3 of the last 3 years. So that's why Drew Holiday had to go. That's why Porzingis had to go. They're trying to get under that apron to where they don't lose draft picks. If you're over the second apron for like 2 or 3 years, you start to lose draft picks. You know what I mean? So it's really complicated when it gets to that money thing. When you have two max players like that, and then he wants an extension. So to me, I just look at it as man, after getting rid of Holiday and Porzingis, and then getting under the cap last year, I think they just didn't want to extend that money out 5 years. They'd rather take the 2 years of Paul George.
I feel
I
like
still don't like it, you know what I mean? But it is what it is.
yeah, for sure. I mean, I feel like over the course of time, me hearing people who covered the Celtics, they would never say that there was a toxic relationship between Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum. They would just say they're different kind of dudes. How do you believe you work with the Celtics? You have some, information. How do you think they were as teammates, and what was their relationship like from your perspective?
My perspective, it was great. I even going back to during COVID when everybody wasn't supposed to be playing, they came to my gym and was secretly playing, you know, behind the scenes where nobody knew because they were going to Orlando in 2 weeks. So for like 3 weeks, they came to my gym privately, and I would watch Jayson and Jalen play one-on-one afterwards, hard, competitive against each other, but then it was all love. So from there all the way to last year, they always did their same warm-up, jumping into each other at the end of the game. So off the court, I think they were totally different people. They didn't hang out and do things off the court, but on the court, their main objective was to win. And like I said, Jalen took that back seat when I think the whole time he felt like he was a number one as well.
So you believe, I mean, it feels like from your perspective, because you're a real dude, like you just say it how it is. I'm starting to think that the media just reaches when they're talking about their relationship and how toxic it was, right? Like they're just reaching for things.
Yeah, it was not. I never, in the last 8 years, I've never heard anything behind the scenes going on. I mean, I've done hundreds and hundreds of appearances for the Celtics with players. I've never heard anyone in the office say, "Oh, did you hear that shit? What happened at practice with Jalen?" And never happened. I never seen them have words on the court ever, ever. So to me, I don't understand where that's even coming from. Now maybe there's something that happened on the plane where I wasn't there, which happens on every team. They could have had a little spat, but I didn't see nothing, bro. Like in 8 years, I've never seen anything. So I don't know where that's coming from.
When you hear Bobby Marks report that there was NBA personnel saying that Jaylen Brown was viewed as a seventh guy on a team, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking this analytics shit is crazy, man. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't give a shit what them numbers say. Are you crazy? Like, that doesn't even make sense, and it's disgustingly disrespectful if I'm Jaylen Brown. Like, why would you say some shit like that? I don't care what the computer says. Like, to me, that's why what I always say about when we talk about the eye test, man. Like, but if we're talking about LeBron and Mike or KD and this person, this is the most important thing, bro. Right here. What I see happens and what that other player that's playing me, if he respects me, I don't care about what no media person says. I don't give a shit. If I line up and that dude's like, "Yo, DB, slow that shit down today," I know I got him. Because now I know in my mind, I'm thinking he knows I got some shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I need. The media be making shit up, bro.
Yeah. Like he was the best player on a championship team to me. I know some people would say Tatum, he won finals MVP. But if teams really do view him as a seventh guy, they could view that contract as not being efficient. Is there any world that you say that was the reason that he was traded? Or like what are your thoughts on that? If teams actually believe this, you know?
Yeah, I think if he just had 3 years left and he didn't have an extension coming up, and which was due like the beginning of July, I think they probably would let it maybe go one more year. You know what I mean? Let's see if we can make a run and everything. We're right there. Jaylen will be healthy. Jayson will be healthy next year. But I really think that extension, man, that was a 2-year, like $160 million extension. That's like $75, $80 million a year on top of what he's making now. So to me, any team that would have been looking to trade for him he's going to be talking to them about that same shit. You know what I mean? So that might have been a hindrance on where he could have went, was him wanting that extension.
Do you think, like, I believe they should have ran it back from my perspective, but once Jaylen Brown was in those rumors for Giannis, do you think there was a point of no return when it comes to Jaylen being on that team? He's actually been in rumors with KD before, so I mean, and he played great this year. So, what are your thoughts on that? You've played in the NBA, Dana, so you've probably heard yourself big in trade rumors, right? Like how does that feel for a player playing in the league?
I mean, a player like me, it would be expected. Like I was more of a sixth man. I started for maybe 4 or 5
You
years.
were all-star,
really,
Dana.
Really
Stop playing around, Dana. You were all-star. Stop playing, all right?
Right, so I'm saying, a guy like Jaylen, if I'm Jaylen Brown, I'm tired of my name being in there as an individual. This has nothing to do with the Celtics,
Right.
But this is the third or fourth time, and I think it was a point of no return once the Giannis thing didn't happen, especially coming off the year that he had. But I think the Celtics are just, like I said, getting under the cap. They must have a plan. You know what I mean? Maybe we don't know exactly what the plan is. Maybe Paul George won't be here for 2 years. Maybe he'll be here for 1 year. Then having a 1 year remaining on his contract makes him an easier player to trade. I don't know. You know what I mean? But after 8 years, maybe they just looked at this thing and said, hey, all right, we had 6 Eastern Conference Finals. I don't know, man. You know what I mean? Like I said, from a basketball and a fan standpoint, I wanted to run that shit back. I love both of those guys.
As a former Sixer, what are your thoughts on LeBron James joining the Philadelphia 76ers?
I think it's I love LeBron, like in terms of being a great player. Even though I may talk about him not being a GOAT and Michael Jordan, to me, he's a great representative of the game. Either he's never been in trouble or the media's been covering that shit up for 22 years, right? Because he has a great off the court reputation. So it's one or the other. You know what I'm saying? So I think for me, if I'm him, I'm going to the most winning situation. I would have personally said San Antonio or Denver. San Antonio needs a 4-man. Like, to me, that's what hurt them. Wemby couldn't guard Karl Anthony Towns on the wing. Like, he was pump faking them, dab stepping. He had him spinning around. To me, he would be a great fit in San Antonio or Denver, you know? But he went to a winning team. Like, to me, that sucks because we got to see them 5 times a year. I want to see them 5 times a year with Jalen with a chip on his shoulder, LeBron, and B trying to come back and prove something that is still his team. There's a lot. They got a lot of dudes with a lot of shit on their shoulder, on their mind. You know what I'm saying? So they're going to have a lot to prove if it can all go together. But, seeing them 5 times a year, I think it's great for Philly. But for me, my squad, it's not good at all.
Right.
It looks great on paper, bro. Like, this shit looks great on paper.
This might sound crazy, Dana, or maybe it doesn't to you, but I believe this is all about Michael Jordan. I think LeBron James is trying to win a title this year. He's trying to win another title. And then if he gets to 6, he's going to try and play one more after that. I don't think LeBron James is thinking about anything else but passing MJ. That's all he's thinking, in my opinion, from my perspective.
That's all he has left. What else does he have left to prove, right? He's proven everything. He's done everything. The only thing that people knock him for is you ain't MJ. So he's chasing that ghost, man. That's the only thing he has left in his life that really inspires him, right? There's not basketball. He probably hates practice, hates shoot around. The pregame, he probably fucking don't even want to listen to the coach talk no more. He ain't looking at the chalkboard pregame shit. He's like, man, throw the fucking ball up and let's go, So
I don't even think he's gonna live in Philly, right? Like he's probably.
yeah, he's helicoptering and shit. Like he's done with this shit. Like you said, if I can get at least one more and catch Kobe, and then if I get 2 or 3, then I catch Mike. I think he's looking at the 5 to catch Kobe and the 6 to catch Mike. And that whether that means anything to other people, it probably means something to him. You know what I mean? That's all he got left.
What does it mean to you, Dana? If he gets to 6, is LeBron James the GOAT with the Sixers?
Hell nah. I told you that last time, bro. You can't catch up. You can't catch up, man.
Wait, how about how about 6? He got okay. How about he gets 6? Then he brings Bronny in to win 7. Come on, man. He's the GOAT, bro.
Nah, because then you got to look at how many Hall of Famers he played. He played on this team. There might be Jaylen Brown's going to the Hall of Fame and B's going to the Hall of Fame. He's playing with 2 more Hall of Famers. AD's going to the Hall of Fame. Kyrie's going to the Hall of Fame. And people don't respect Kevin Love. Kevin Love was 26-12 for 5 or 6 years before he went to Cleveland. Kevin Love was a perennial all-star. He might be in the Hall of Fame.
Wade and Bosch
in the Hall of Fame. So he's got like 10 Hall of Famers. Mike MJ played with Rodman and Pippen. That's it. No other Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
And Rodman averaged 5 points a game.
Yeah.
And Pippen, I don't think averaged 20 when he played with him.
With this Sixers team, I do believe Jaylen Brown's the best two-way player they have. But I would run offense through LeBron James, but feature Tyrese Maxey. I think Tyrese Maxey has to be the guy putting up the most shots. What are your thoughts in which direction they'll go from a coaching perspective?
Yeah, I think they should. And LeBron might not like this, but I would have him at the 5 at times and play small and go fast. And Embiid slows them down. When you got Jaylen Brown, Maxey, VJ, and now you're adding, even though LeBron's 42, you got to pick the pace up. You got athleticism out there. You can't be walking the ball up, waiting for Embiid to catch the ball at the top of the center. No, man. You got to get Maxey up and down, and he's still got to keep his 20 shots a game. You know what I mean? I think I saw the stat where he was getting 20, 21 shots. VJ was getting like 14. Paul George was averaging like 14. And Embiid was averaging like 18 or 17. And now you added Jaylen Brown, who was getting 22 last year. So it's got to equal out somewhere. But to me, Maxey and Brown, it's got to go through Maxey and Brown, them 2 athletic guys getting the most shots.
And then the X factor for me is Joel Embiid. And then how much will LeBron James play as well? If they could both get to 65 and just build enough chemistry throughout the course of the regular season, they got a good chance to win the East.
Yeah, I think they have so much talent on the starting 5 that they could sit out. To me, they'll be sitting out. LeBron could sit out every 4 games, and they still win 85% of their games with the starting 5 that they still have. Then you go, okay, now Embiid's going to sit out 2 games, and LeBron comes back. You know what I mean? I think the amount of talent that they have in the starting 5 allows them, to which we all hate, is to rest more. You know what I mean? As fans, we don't like that, but for an organization, they have enough talent where they can sit and beat out 2-3 games in a row and still go on a 7-game winning streak and shit, you know?
They better not sit out too much. That's going to be the hottest ticket in everybody's town. Like the
in
Sixers,
everybody's town, right? I think Embiid's going to have a chip on his shoulder. I think he is. I think he's going to come out and try to say, yo, LeBron's coming here, but this still my shit. You know, MVP 3 years ago. I'm sure that mentality ain't left his mind. He still thinks he's the MVP. He's just been hurt, you know?
In full health, both teams, the New York Knicks and the Philadelphia 76ers, who has a better chance to win the East, Dana?
I think the Sixers have a better chance, but I'm going to tell you like this. I've been counting the Knicks out for like thinking they were going to always blow up in the last 2 years, and they did against Indiana, but to me, they're a better team than I thought they were. They proved to me last year, down 29 in San Antonio. Like, they proved to me, and Jalen Brunson proved to me. I once told you Cade Cunningham was better than him. Jalen Brunson that proves to me that, nah, he's one of those guys. He's him. To me, he's won me over as he's one of those guys, man. You know? So
Jalen...
I think it, on paper, Philly should win. But, damn, man, the Knicks are they're so fucking, they're dogs, man, you know? I would never count them out. Nor my squad either, you know?
Have you ever seen a story like Jalen Brunson? Like in all your years in the NBA?
Nah, I started watching him and his, like they had some clips of him and his father at the park and shit, back when he was younger.
And you used to hoop a Rick, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's from Salem, Mass. So we used to play on BABC, like AAU teams and stuff
Gotcha.
like that, shootout. So just watching that and watching him, like watching him in college, I'm like, he was posting up. I'm like, he ain't gonna be posting up in the NBA. Yo, he's posting up 6'6" dudes, throwing the chest in him. I gotta give him nothing but respect and salute, man. He's the biggest surprise to me of last year, other than Jaylen Brown. I think him and Jaylen Brown were two gigantic surprises with the Knicks.
Man, I bumped into Rick a few times. Good dude. But I have to tell this story, Dana. Growing up in New York City, man, and it's messed up because people don't really understand, like, how good you have to be to go through the channels of basketball and make the best league in the world, obviously, unless you really played. But when you were, like, this is crazy, Dana. When you, like, when you were kind of a scrub, like, New Yorkers, yo, you Rick Brunson, you play like Rick Brunson. That shit, that was like,
Shit.
yo, people used to really say that. That's crazy. Like looking back at it, but that like you Rick Brunson in the face, like,
Wow.
isn't that crazy? Isn't
Wow.
that crazy, bro? Like just
That's
thinking of it.
fucking in New York. Damn, that's crazy. How
Yeah,
long did he play in New York? Like only like 2 or 3 years, right? Because I know he was on a
yeah.
lot of teams.
I was very young, but I remember that. Like that was like kind of like a thing.
Wow, that's crazy. That's great. Well, he got the last laugh now, though, I guess. But
Yeah,
yeah, that's
man.
crazy to be a
Yeah.
punchline.
Yeah, Jalen Brunson. It kind of reminds me a little bit in Steph Curry, not in the way they play, but everybody thought that the bubble would pop at some time, right? That
Yep.
this wasn't real,
Yep.
and it just never did. Like it was just real. And then that last final series, it felt like he could play a whole other series, bro. Jalen Brunson,
Right.
like
Yeah.
he dropped 45 in Game 5, like crazy.
And then you could just like to me, I could tell like he would struggle or let the game come to him in the first half, and then there would be periods like 7, 8 minute periods where he would fucking score like 18 points out of 22, and then you would put Harper on him, you would put fucking Harrison, but you would put all these
Yo,
different, and
bro,
he would just
Castle, yo, if Castle was guarding anybody else the way he was guarding Brunson, like they would be shut down. Like that guy could defend at a high level, bro.
he was killing everybody. It didn't
Yeah.
matter. They almost had to double team him, but New York they were making shots. So to me, man, I just salute him, man. But if I'm LeBron, I probably would have went to San Antonio if I wanted to get those 2 rings. Well, if they would have took them, like something the Knicks probably don't want him. You know what I mean? Why
Yeah,
would you bring LeBron into the middle of that shit now?
I think there was reports where that was true. You know who I felt kind of sorry for watching him guard Jalen Brunson, Dana? James Harden, bro. That was bad.
Oh my god. I hated that trade too. I told you that shit was trash. And he said after the game he thought he did good. Like he in the press conference, they were like, "How do you feel about the matchup with Jay?" He's like, "I thought I played pretty well, bro." It was a tragedy to me that he's 37 this year. It's over for them, man. It's over for them. You know.
Can you believe that Kenny Atkinson said that they were winning the series analytically?
That's what I'm talking about. The analytics shit, man, with the Jaylen Brown shit. Like, where are these people? This shit is fucking crazy. They should be hurt. Like, they should be up working for the owner. They want to tell the owner some shit like that and let the owner. You don't bring that shit on the court at all, man. Don't bring that shit on the court. That's crazy. For
Yo,
him to say that, he should be fine, man. He should be literally fucking fine for that shit. If I'm Donovan Mitchell, I pull him in the back and be like, "Yo, bro, don't ever say no stupid shit like that again, man."
bro, they won the championship analytically. They won the chip, bro. Analytically, they won the chip.
That don't even make. Now the players got to answer to that shit in the locker room. That's when the press comes in there. Yo, coach said this shit. Now you be like,
Man, I bumped
yeah.
into Kenny too. It's crazy. I asked him. I bumped into Fanatics Fest, and I was like, "Can you believe that somebody said Jaylen Brown was a seventh player on a team?" He's like, "Somebody said that? Like he didn't know somebody said that. Like he knew, man. Come on, Kenny.
He knew
Get
that
it
shit.
together."
He probably got the same shit on his computer. He just didn't want to. He didn't want to feed into it because he knew the reaction.
He had Jaylen Brown as the 10th guy, probably. Who knows?
Yeah, some shit.
So, you played in the league many years, Dana. So I wanted to hear your perspective on Draymond Green saying that the NBA is not set up for players to become wealthy.
Man, look, bro. I'll tell you, in my career, I made 21 million, right? I was in a lockout, so I lost almost $4 million. The highest year of the first year of my career, of my new contract, was four point something, 5 million, and we had a lockout. So I made about 17 million. After taxes, I made about 9 million, right? I had a bad business, lost about a million or so, doing extremely well now. Like, not rich, but I'm off of 7 million, right? And I've lost some money in businesses, now I have a great business. I don't understand that shit, man. Like, I don't see how you could spend $50 million. Like, unless you're doing some gambling, drugs, or you got 6 or 7 baby mamas. Like, bro, like, how many houses can you buy? How many, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. If you put 50 million into some crazy business, like, oh, somebody stole 50 million from you of who was supposed to be managing your money, that's one thing. But when these guys talk about 100 million is not sufficient, like, I heard the wide receivers say, Odell Beckham say that shit. You know what I mean? Like, to me, that sets a bad precedent for young people, man. You know what I mean? Like it's just, to me, it doesn't make sense to the average. And you sound crazy to the average person. Like, you sound fucking crazy to the average person out here making $75,000. That may be like, man, I ain't buying no more fucking tickets. You crazy? Like, you sound crazy, man. Like, you can't even say no shit like that even if you believe it. Like, it's nonsensical to the average person and the fan.
It is, but the crazy thing was, and part of the reason I asked you is that it sounds kind of normal to some other pro athletes. Obviously not to you, but they kind of like are agreeing on.
Because a lot of us fucked the money up. A lot of us effed it up.
So they're not putting the onus on themselves. They're putting
we
their
don't
onus.
take the responsibility.
Yeah,
I just said I effed off a couple of mil like that. I wish I had now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I'm doing, like, I'm downsizing. My house is too big. You know what I mean? So I'm downsizing and cashing out. You know, now taking the money that I put into it out and buying some new shit cash. But I had to pay for that shit up front. I paid for that shit a while ago. You know what I mean? Like, bro, like, it's just crazy to me, man. Like, kids are making money in high school now. You know what I mean? They're making money in college, and you're gonna say 100 million. Like, to me, we got to take accountability for the shit we're doing, man. You know, we're seeing Zion Williamson out here with these women and that woman, and like, dude, that's 20. If they go to college, that's 22 years, man. That's 22 years of 6 or 7 different people you got to pay. Like, when I was in the NBA, they had a player on my team. I'm not even going to mention his name. They had him on the cover of Sports Illustrated, and he had 7 baby mamas. And then they went through, and I'm like, there's like 6 or 7 other players. They did a whole article on NBA players who had more than 6 baby mamas. And everybody knows Sean Kemp was one of them because everybody knows his situation. But there was 7 other people in the NBA. All right, this has been going on since then, bro. You know what I'm saying? And like, players like me, I made the All-Star team making $500,000. I came in the league, I made $250, $300, $350, $400. The reason I made $500 because I got $100,000 bonus from Reebok for making the All-Star team. I literally made $425,000. Then we had the lockout and the strike, and the money went crazy. There was no money before that, bro.
Wow.
In '95, like when Magic and them retired, they were making $2 and $3 million. The best players in the league.
Right. So when you first came into the league, what was the minimum for like a year?
The minimum was like $100,000. I was the 16th pick, and I started off at $250.
I do think that I remember hearing that Mark Jackson made 75 one year. I could be wrong though.
It wasn't like, like, I was the 6th. So imagine if you weren't drafted, you probably were making 75, 100.
Yeah.
In the 90s, early 90s. I came in 89.
If you think about it, like 75, 100 this is not like a 40-hour job. This is like your whole life.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like the travel, the practice, the playing. Like, man, that's not really a lot of money for, like, you're working like almost every minute of every day. Obviously, you got your leisure time, but that's kind of crazy, you know?
Yeah, some people still went overseas and played like half a season overseas.
Oh, word? That's
to make more money in the summer, you know. And then they would come back early and they would come back early when training camp opened. But some teams started stopping them from doing that too,
Right,
you
right,
know. So
right.
they would stay overseas because they were making 300, 400,000 overseas, and then 100,000 here. Why come back here?
Yeah. All right, last thing. Are you seeing all this stuff? So WNBA players are like talking about gambling, and the WNBA pushes out the content. Did you see that?
Yeah, they were like talking about $400 and all this and crazy. Yeah, that's suspension, ain't it? You can't do that shit.
No, it's in the CBA. You can't gamble on your own games, but WNBA fans will say that they were just kind of kidding. But to be kidding about that and for the WNBA to actually push that on their social media accounts is wild, bro.
And that's a part of the NBA, so that sets a precedent, a bad precedent across the board. Like if that was like LeBron and fucking KD, they probably be like, "Yo, let's bet 4 million." They wouldn't be saying 400. You know what I'm saying? But that was shit would start off Sports Center. Stephen A. Smith would be like, "Yo, no." You know what I'm saying? That
Data.
would be crazy. That doesn't make sense. And they got enough issues right now with Caitlin Clark and all this racism and crazy shit. Like man, why are they doing this to that girl, man? Like I know they did it to MJ, they did it to Tiger Woods, but to me, this is her third year. She got them all bags. They need to just sit back and collect their bags.
Do you think Caitlin is the face of the WNBA?
I don't even think she might not be the best player. She might be top 5, but she moves the needle. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
That's all that matters. Angel Wilson is the best player, probably, yes, but she doesn't get 17,000 in every arena she goes to. You don't tell us who to moves the needle. The fans tell you who moves the needle. You know what I mean? Like, and if you're going from a college arena when she plays to play in an NBA arena, then you got to sit back and say, okay, she's making my bag bigger. I may not like her, but shit, I'm going to say what I got to say right on TV. You know what I'm saying?
Now, she has a similar impact to LeBron James going to your team, right? Like that
Yeah.
kind of like helping the economy and just she's probably underpaid like LeBron has been, even though he makes so much money his whole career. Like they're probably underpaid at this point for the attention they bring in.
If she left the Fever's valuation will go down $200 million, man. When LeBron left the Cavs, they dropped like $2 billion in value. You know what I mean? So to me, like I said, moving the needle is all that for the NBA owners who own these teams. They've been losing money for 30 years. They're like, damn, let her cook, let her do her thing. But it's a lot of jealousy, man. You know, to me, it's a lot of jealousy, man. Just go out and shut her down, man. Stop saying the negative shit. Get your bag and let her build the league, man. You know, dang, crazy.
And it's good for everybody when we're talking about
It's crazy great for it's like when, like I said, Tiger Woods came in, everybody was like, the dude was like, yo, we having fried chicken and greens at the Masters dinner tonight when Tiger won this shit, right? That the dude literally said this shit on camera. But then like the next year, the contracts tripled.
That's crazy.
And everybody was like, oh, Tiger. They turned it around. They started saying, okay, let this dude cook.
Yeah. You ever see that those comments of the Cavs players talking about like how LeBron James would fit in his first year? You ever see them? Yeah, they'd be like, this is a grown man league. It's going to be tough for him. Like he's going to have to play his role. Like they have a whole collage of all of them saying that. Darius.
Oh, Ricky Davis. I remember Ricky Davis. Yeah, he was on the team there. I remember. Okay, yeah, I remember Ricky Davis saying some shit like that. But that was, he obviously he was smoking that high power shit.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Bro, like we've been doing pods for a while now, and then I realized somebody told me because they were watching us. They were like, Dana had a record deal, right? Did you have a record deal?
Nah, but they had this thing at NBA. Epic and Capitol Records did a thing where they had an album for NBA players. Did a song with a rapper from their city. So Gary's from Oakland. He did a song with Too Short.
Okay.
Chris Webber's from Detroit. He did a song with like Trick or something like that. I didn't want to do a song with Benzino. Like they didn't want to deal with Benzino. He was from Boston, so I did a song with Grand Poobah and from Brand Nubians and Sadat X.
Yeah.
So I did two. I was the best song rapper on the album. I had 2 videos. My video was on MTV and BET.
You saying your verses was better than Grand Poobah's and Sadat X? Your verse?
No, but our song that I did with them was the video.
Okay.
But my video's on YouTube. It got like millions of views. It's called Check It, Dana Brown's Check It. But they wanted me to do an album right after that because my 2 singles on there were the 2 songs they used for videos.
That's fire.
But I was an all-star. Like I was like, man, I'm focusing on basketball. I ain't doing this shit. Like I was so focused on
So the greatest NBA rappers is probably between you, Dame Lillard, and Shaq.
I would say we 3 in the top 5. I don't know about these new young guys, but I'll go against anybody. I don't care. Let's do it now. Like I still do with my son. I got fire, bro.
So you think you're the top NBA rapper ever?
Of course, absolutely.
Wow, Dame's kind of nice though.
Yeah, oh, definitely. I listen to Kobe. His song "Kobe's" one of my favorite songs. I love Dame.
Yeah.
But the song they hear is from '95. When people look up my rap song, that's from '95. We had a whole different style.
100%.
You know, but it was still lyrical. Like it was still lyrical, right? But now, come on, man. I'm like Talib Kweli, man. Like you gonna have to break the fucking dictionary out. So he just says some shit. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Nah.
I'm nice. I'm with it. Whoever want to do it, let's do it.
Do you listen to 38 Special or no?
Yeah, he's going at my man Jada. I don't like that, man.
Bro, I always say that nobody raps better than Jada. That's my opinion. You know, that's my thing. But he's challenging him to 3 rounds. You think Jada's really gonna go URL style and battle him a cappella? Like, what are we doing?
Nah, I don't think Jada needs to do that. Like Jada, Jada did to Dipset at Madison Square Garden.
Versus
crazy. He's legendary. He don't need to do that shit with nobody else. He can only go down from there. He shit on the whole squad. Even Dipset was like, yeah, he said some shit, you know. So to me, I salute him, you know, for not backing down. But it wasn't like Jada came at him. He just came at Jada out, you know, out the blue.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Dylan Brooks going at LeBron. I always say there's levels to basketball, but I'm not mad at him for going at him. You know, I'm not mad at him.
Right, yeah.
I love the competitiveness in it.
Yeah, I mean, as an athlete, shit, I'm not. When I see Allen Iverson, yeah, I'm nervous, but I ain't scared. Like he gonna get 35. I'm gonna try to get 25. You know
you went against MJ, bro. So yeah.
Yeah, so I mean. But I love his tenacity. I love his competitive spirit. But nah, man, like if he did something to him, I see it. But nah, Jada's one of the illest ever, man. Don't do that.
In battle rap, do you think that there's nothing that's off the table, or do you feel like there's boundaries that should be set?
Nah, I couldn't do battle rap. Like I would punch somebody right in the face. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
You couldn't do the URL data?
Nope, couldn't do it. Nope. There have to be boundaries. Like they can't, because you say something about my son, one of my sons, I'm just swinging. Like I'm just like, if you something like crazy, like my wife and or some sister, mother, like nah, we ain't doing that. I'm from the 80s and 90s, bro. Like if you didn't do something, it's like being in prison, man. Like you got to do something or you can't come back home, man. You know?
Who's the greatest rapper ever from Boston?
N.O.G., you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But no, I'm sorry. Damn, he was with not Pete Rock. He was with Guru. Guru's one of the greatest.
Benzino's from Boston?
Yeah, he's from Boston. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. He's probably the most famous. We got Mills right now. You got Mills right now. You know what I mean? He's one of the young guys. But we had damn, I forget the name of the group, but the guy was Guru. His name was Guru, and he had a song. He had crazy songs out back in the day. You'll know the song if you heard it, but yeah, he was like a legend. He died early, man. He died.
Damn.
He died. In like the early '90s.
Yeah.
But yeah, but I would say Benzino is probably the most popular.
I really know about Benzino honestly because of his beef with Eminem. That's really like how I became familiar with him. You know.
He owns Source. He owns Source magazine.
That's right. I did know about that. That's right.
So he was more than just music. Like he like literally was the muscle behind Source magazine. If you know.
Yeah. I love that. Wearing many hats, man. You got to make money in multiple ways. You know.
No doubt.
But Dana, thanks for taking time. What a conversation, bro. It gets better every time we talk. Thanks for taking the time. Give me 1 second to let this upload. But talk soon, bro. Appreciate you.
Salute, my guy. You know, always.